Genji 2 is an action game which is based on Japanese history. Being based on history, the stages of the game will also be based on famous battles which actually took place in ancient Japan. So here's this giant enemy crab.
Welcome, ladies and gentle crabs, to another thing that we're doing on the Giant Enemy Crab podcast. I'm your host, Fliz, and I'm joined by our resident tech genius, Kylar.
Hello.
So what we're calling this, I guess, is our PirateSoftware Heartbound challenge. And the idea here, so let me explain it real quick. Since I watched season 1 of Love, Death, and Robots, there's an episode in there called Suits, right? And Suits is an episode about like these farmers and they farm, but then at certain points, like monsters come out and they have to use these like clanky jank mechs to fend off the monster attacks. And I thought, wow, ever since I saw it, like that would be an awesome game to have. Like I want to play farming sim to like bullet hell. It just sounded like a cool idea. And we've joked about like we should make a game like that someday. Obviously none of us are game devs and I wouldn't know the first thing about it. That being said, can't get away from PirateSoftware these past months. He's like the most popular person on the internet.
Yeah, he really is.
He really is.
May not for good reasons.
We'll say infamous. That's the word I would use right now. Kylar here had the bright idea of like, look, Heartbound's not been out for 7 years now. It's kind of a running joke at this point. I bet that we could make a game and finish it before Heartbound comes out. And my dude just started going. Like he showed me some of the stuff he's working on, and it's super interesting to me. I'm super excited to see where it goes. It may very well not end up like the game I was talking about before, but that's not the point. The point is that, that's just kind of the history of what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
What I am curious about is like, how long have you been coding? Because didn't you just recently start even thinking about coding?
So I don't really know too much about coding. I took quick basic coding in high school. I know a little bit about C++, but more just kind of like some flaws with the language and a little bit of like logic. I wouldn't know how to actually program anything really in C++. Maybe I could read some of it, understand like what a function is or where something is trying to go, that kind of thing.
Like when you started this, could you do Hello World just right off the bat? Like without any input?
Not in,
you couldn't even do that. You couldn't even Hello World when you started this.
Not in Godot, which is that system engine that we're doing. I mean, if you just want to do Hello World, it would just be a print command like that. I know. Yeah. But anything beyond that, no clue.
Okay. So you're a novice, absolute novice, self-trained. And you started this, what, like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, somewhere around there?
I think it was last week, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, you really I think you showed me the first little tidbits of your bullet hell going on. Last week. So like one man show, right on track. We're just here for moral support, like you said. So I took I got suckered into online school for like 6 months where I took coding and then realized immediately I would hate this. So I stopped.
Yeah.
Just lost money. I learned Hello World and was like, cool, I'm done. So my coding knowledge is nothing. Explain to me like where you start. What's Godot and why are you Godot? Excuse me. What's Godot and why are you using it rather than something else? Like where are you starting with this? Give me some info.
I thought a little bit about like where I should start, and I ended up with this because one, I'm a real fan of like the editor and UI for this. Just kind of looking at it. I'm actually like kind of a big fan of how this is displayed. I thought about Unity as well, but then there was that whole thing with Unity, which I don't really want to support, but also because Unity is a very powerful engine, but it's one that's kind of complicated. And then of course there's Unreal.
Just a good starter.
Yeah. Okay. Then there's Unreal, which is just like way overpowered for what I'm trying to do.
Just UE5 right off the bat. You got this.
No, I basically chose this because I wanted something that would enable me to easily create something limited in scope, and I could kind of build up on it and make something good. And then if I want to transition or make something new in a 3D environment, I can do that in this engine too. And this is very,
really?
Yeah. And this engine is very good at being able to kind of like separate like 2D from 3D games in a very kind of easy to understand way. So that's why I chose to start from this. It's just very beginner friendly. There's lots of support for it. The community is really awesome. Tons of videos and stuff on it. So this is what I ended up going with.
Nice. And you're just 100% like Googling and YouTubing everything you need to know.
Pretty much, yeah. I started, which if you've ever tried to use this before, this probably looks familiar. I started with the actual documentation. So Godot has like a Godot docs where you can, it basically runs you through like how to make your first 2D game, which I've done, which is the basis for this. That's why it kind of looks like this. It also goes into making a 3D game as well, which is here. I did not do this. And
we'll get there.
On top of that, there was also a website called Learn to GD Script from Zero app. So this is a fan-made open source project where basically they go through and teach you how to do various things in this engine and in this its language. And it's very easy to follow. It's super, super well done. It's absolutely free, which you can just go and do real quick. So yeah, that's kind of where I started and how I got most of the way through this project.
All right. I'm kind of jealous. You just kind of like took this on and started doing it. I don't have that kind of ambition. Well, I'm doing other stuff, but I don't have that ambition of just like grabbing something new. So so walk me through some of the first stuff you did to get to where you're at now.
So the first thing I did was exactly this. I made this 2D game. I followed the instructions, did that. From there, I just took this and started just replacing chunks of it with what I wanted. So like the very first thing I did was I literally loaded up Aseprite, which is just a program on Steam that you can download, and made this little mech guy, which is this guy right here.
Does he have a name?
No, he doesn't have a name yet.
Oh, you failed. Let's call him Henry.
Yeah. But yeah, I just drew him. And when I first drew him, he had weapons attached to him that would fire. And I pretty much just worked on being able to make this guy with guns down either side of him, being able to press left click to shoot the guns that were on the side of him. And from there, worked on having the bullets deal damage to the enemies and being able to kill them. That's basically where I started. And that took longer than I want to admit.
I would never say coding's like an easy thing. Like it's very daunting and repetitive and time consuming just to do the basics.
Yeah, it was interesting. And I told you this before too in a other conversation where one of the difficulties I had early on is I didn't even know how to try to do what I was trying to do. Like,
yeah,
I wouldn't even know where to start. So I was basically forced to look stuff up or use the documentation that was in here, which is pretty nice where you can just kind of search for help and you can just basically like just look up like this. So this is what I tried to do when I was trying to make a something that would allow me to look at where my mouse was, which was like a look at function. So I could look at this and like I sort of understood this, but I still didn't know how to make a look at my cursor. And that's where I had to start looking stuff up. It happened pretty quick. Where like I just have no idea. And eventually I did get there to where it ended up actually being very simple, where it's just there is a function in this that just gets where your mouse is. And then I just tell the mech to look at it. And that's all I got to do. So once I understood like how that worked, it became way simpler. And over time, I've kind of learned how functions and everything work, how you can edit the properties of different nodes and stuff. That all came to fruition after a while. Do you have any questions about like anything you're looking at?
So it very much feels like me learning Adobe and the various programs that go with it.
Yeah.
Like every time I would look something up, I want to do this. Okay. Well, to do this, you need to do this. Well, what the fuck does that mean? I don't know. Okay. Well, to do this, you need to do that. Well, I don't know what that means either. I guess I'm starting like way down here and I got to take the stairs all the way up, 10 flights to get to that thing.
Yeah.
The difference is I can't parse this text at all. Like this is all toggle editable children. What?
Oh, yeah. So
I don't know.
I got
It would take me a hot minute to get through all the terminology. Like I don't think I'll ever be good at this kind of stuff.
It makes way more sense like after messing with it a little bit and just kind of the layout of what this looks like, because what you're seeing here in the very left side, this is pretty much the game like as it is. So this is everything in its place, right? If I were to open this player test, if I were to actually open that, what it actually looks like is all this here. So when you're looking at the main game, all you see is this player test. But if I were to actually open it up, editable children, this is what's all underneath it.
I like that phrase.
Yeah. So pretty much how this works and how most object-oriented coding works is pretty much what you're building is you're just building little segments, like little engines that have their own little things. And then you're just combining it with something larger to eventually make something, right? You're basically creating systems within systems within systems. An example of this is like a health bar or health container is what I call it, where if you look on the left side, this health container, if I open up the code to it, this health container is basically just all the logic that handles health, where if I had to take damage, it will run scripts and code to take damage. If I heal, it'll run, all the logic for healing. If I die, it'll run the logic for death. What's nice about this is because like tons of things can have health, right? I don't have to program that for everything. I just need to have something that handles health. And if I take a look at my enemy here, it's right there. So I can just copy and paste this one thing over on anything that needs health. All the logic stays the same. And I just have to pass it through whatever this object is.
Gotcha. And if you wanted to add more sub commands, maybe, I don't know, sub something, you would just do that afterwards.
Yeah. And this is part of what kind of like triggered this thought in me was like the basic idea that I need my little mech guy to be able to change weapons. Because when I started with him, he had two guns attached to his bottom or his left and right side. But I realized like if I'm going to be able to like change the weapons on there, I don't want to change like the whole sprite, because what if I want a different weapon on the left side and a different weapon on the right side? I'd have to make like a bajillion for every combination, right? So instead, I removed that and I just added these little like attachment points, which you can see me highlighting here.
Yeah.
And instead, what I do is at the start of the game or whenever I'm changing weapons, I just have a weapon that attaches to that point. And now I've separated the player from the actual weapons. And now I can make like bunches of different weapons at once and then just connect them onto the player with no issues.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
And that even extends to the bullets, where like this is an example of a bullet, but I can make multiple of them. I haven't yet, but I can. And if I want, let's say like the base weapon to use a different type of bullet, I can load up a different one if I had one in here. I don't currently, but that's like the idea. And that's like the first challenge I ran into is finding ways to make the game scalable so I can add features over time in an easy way without just making like unnecessary work for myself.
Gotcha. That seems to be one of the biggest issues in a lot of we've been watching a lot of coding content lately, and
Yeah.
like making a thing and also making it future proof, I guess,
Yep.
is a big standard that seems to get ignored. And that's where you get things like the phrase spaghetti code, where things work, but they're absolutely not optimal.
Yeah. And over time, actually very recently, I ran into my second huge problem, which was trying to make this right here.
Really?
This ammo counter and this weapon label, it was so complicated for me. I did not understand how to do it, and it took me a long time. Because I was trying to be self-sufficient and I should not have been. I should have just looked it up. And eventually I did. And even then it took me a while to understand. But the basic idea is, if you look at how this is structured, how like this is at the very top, and then you have these under it, and then there's more stuff under that, right? One of the things about how coding works and how also this works is everything is separated unless you share access to something. So I have like my player here,
Yep.
and I have my HUD, my heads up display here, right?
Yeah.
They have no way to communicate to each other. They don't know where they are. I cannot like reference anything inside the HUD from the player.
Okay.
They don't know how to do it because they don't know they exist.
Gotcha.
Instead, you need to let something that does know that both of these exist at the same time, because they will know how to reference each other. In that case, that's this main node up here.
Okay.
Now, the first thing I tried sort of worked, where you can reference this main node by literally typing in the file path of where it's located, and it allows you to communicate with other stuff. And that's what I was doing at first. The problem when you do that is if you rename anything or if you move it anywhere, because it's a direct file name, it just shatters. It's just gone. It becomes so broken. And because you reference in your lines of code so much, you just destroy it. And I could not figure out how to fix that. But eventually I did. And pretty much like the easy way to do that is using this export feature here, where this is a built-in feature in this program where you can make a variable. Oh, sorry, right here. Decide what type of variable it is. Like here, if I just go to my player test, and then if I click on my player test over here, I can just decide what I want this variable to be. So I can just say, I want this to be fire rate. And now if I change the name of this to like that, it changes. So I don't break anything by renaming stuff if I need to later on, or if I don't like the name of it, or if I move it somewhere else, it will just remember, and it's way easier to reassign now.
Cool.
So that was a big fix, but that didn't solve my problem, because the other thing I didn't understand was that you can only communicate down a tree. You can't go up. Does that make sense or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the way I have this is I have a weapon creating itself where this attachment point is supposed to be.
Okay.
So I have a separate object under another separate object on player test trying to communicate to another separate object in the HUD. And I couldn't figure it out. But eventually I learned that signals are the way that you do this, where what you can do is you can just have something emit a signal up this tree. Something up here will look for it constantly. And if it sees it, it will run whatever you want down the tree again. And this is, it sounds super complicated, but all it is whenever the player like shoots the weapon, there's a signal that plays out of here. So like weapon ammo updated, that's right here. That runs under main on player weapon test ammo updated. HUD.update ammo. And this runs it all the way back down here to the HUD, which has update ammo.
Okay.
So learning how to like kind of like climb this communication pathway, which is not like, it didn't really teach me that when I started doing the test. Took me a long time.
Glance, none of it looks like wow, I can't even think of the word where you like look at something and it makes sense.
Yep.
God, there's a word for it. I can't remember it. Doesn't matter. I'll think of it when we're done. But
it became very complicated, but once I understood it, it made more sense, where you can reference stuff down very easily. If you have to go up, like to the main here, I need to send a signal instead, because I don't know where anything is outside of the player. Yeah, that took a long time. I think I spent like probably 4 hours trying to figure out how to do this. And I had to rewrite like a bunch of the stuff I was doing.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious, and it might be worth testing with when you're at like the basic levels. Could ChatGPT do this stuff for you?
Google AI can.
Really?
Yeah, sort of. Like, it was when I was Googling stuff, it would give me solutions, but they weren't always ones that I quite understood, or they weren't right for the context that I needed them for.
That sounds like all AI usage. It gives you something at first glance, it seems like, oh, this is what I was looking for, but it isn't specific enough to what you really want.
Yeah, and that was actually super helpful because, like I said at the beginning, like the hard part is I don't even know how to try to do it. So with AI at least guiding me in the right direction to like narrow my search made it so much easier. And then from there, it just became this huge game of trying to learn how to like pass variables through signals and how to do that through functions and everything. And that took me a while to understand, or how to reference certain parts of an array. It took a bit. And this, I'm sure there's someone out there looking at this and just crying.
No, you know what? If somebody is looking at this and they're like, wow, this is bad, eat my entire ass, as somebody once said.
No.
This is brand. You should be happy somebody's trying something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, for sure.
Nah, don't be hating.
It's one of those things that I have to go into knowing that, and it's kind of sad, where I'm probably going to spend like hours on this, and like 3 weeks from now, I'll probably have to throw it all in the garbage. We'll probably
it's gonna
just
be like playing a Dark Souls game without a guide.
Yeah.
You're gonna get halfway through and they'll be like, "Oh, I fucked up my build. All right, I gotta restart now that I know this thing." Speaking of, so real quick, what's your end goal look like at this point? I'm sure it changes, but like, what do you have kind of floating on the top of your mind of what this is going to look like at the end?
So what the finished game should be is it's basically going to be a game where you farm. So you select some crops to grow, you grow them over time, and it's going to have like a day-night cycle, and the monsters will come out at nighttime, and every day the whatever crops you decide to grow will grow a certain amount. And when they're fully grown, you can sell them to purchase upgrades to become stronger. And then, you just kind of rinse, repeat from there and see how far you can go. So that's
exactly what I thought it was going to be. Oh, yeah, I'm so excited.
Not super huge for like my first go around. That's like, I'm just trying to keep it very in scope for what it's going to be.
Yeah, save all the rest for the sequel, where we start doing 3D and we turn everything into crabs.
Yeah. From there, I hope to do like some deployables as well, like maybe turrets and stuff that you can place, because that was in the and I think there were trapped fences too. So I'm gonna try and add that.
Yeah, they had traps.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think. I think there was something else.
I remember we were talking and we had the idea to make it like on a beach with crabs to
represent The giant enemy crab final boss. That's what it was.
Ooh,
Yeah.
there we go.
Well, that was going to be the final boss for it. I don't know what wave or whatever that's going to be, but it's going to be very basic. And then from there, once I have like a fully kind of fleshed out workable game, I'll just kind of see where it goes and probably just restructure the whole thing and start adding a story to it. Because I don't think I can make it comparable to Heartbound unless I have a story, because that's the real bottleneck, is the story.
Well, I'm it's the writing. Well, I can write. I'll help you with whatever you need. You can write as well. We'll figure it out together.
Do you want to see what it looks like so far?
Yeah, I know it's very basic. So
it is.
Nobody shoot off fireworks or anything, but let's see what we're looking at so far.
I wonder if I change anything, it's going to crash. So it's just a start button. And then
you got music, you got dualies.
I don't know if they can hear the music.
Mobs. Yeah, I can hear the music.
And then there's a 3-second reload. I haven't put in the actual animation for reloading. And then all of the animations for these enemies, I don't think they work currently because I removed them because I'm planning to redo that. In this build, this is all there is. There's another weapon too, which I can put on. But yeah, it just plays waves. The math for the waves is pretty simple. It's pretty much just like 1.5 times the previous wave. When you get hit, your health goes down. You get a speed boost and vulnerability, and yeah, this is pretty much it.
That is so savage. You made Asteroid, like one of the most popular games of all time, and you just made it in a week. Think about that.
And then if I want,
that's savage.
Again, because of the way that I have like these variables, I can just very easily change the starting weapon to a light chain gun.
Oh,
and the light chain gun, it shoots faster, and then there's a little bit of bullet variance too, because it's not as accurate as the base weapon.
I can see that. Yeah.
These
are just WASD controls.
Yeah, just WASD controls. The next build I'm doing has a dash button, as well as I'm currently adding the melee attack as well to it. Yeah. So this is pretty much what it is so far.
And this like you said, this is a week or two in. Like this is, I'm ready. I'm ready to rip. I'm excited for where you're going with this. This is awesome.
There is no reload button yet.
Who cares?
Yeah, it's just auto reloads. Get there. I want to. The reloading is going to be kind of interesting since I have 2 weapons here. What I was thinking for that is just like you tap reload once for like the left weapon, twice for the right weapon, or hold it down to reload both. Because you have 2 of them, so you might tactically want to reload some over others.
Oh yeah. Make them like Reaper, and they drop on the ground, and new ones come out of the backpack.
And a pause menu. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Bravo.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Did you have anything else you wanted to share, or is this pretty much a wonderful first update for this new challenge?
That's pretty much it. I'll probably update in like a month or so, or with where I am, and we'll see the differences. Hopefully they're vast. We'll see.
Oh, Doc, I'm excited. I hope whoever's watching is excited too. This is awesome. Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate you checking this out. You can find the GoFundMe at no. All the other. I don't even want to do the other stuff. Leave a like and a comment, or if you are listening on. I should have said this at the beginning. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, watch the video on YouTube because there's stuff to look at. Other than that, thanks for showing. That's great. I'm excited. I'm ready.
I am too.
I'm ready to be in suits. Oh. All right. We'll catch you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.